Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on which part of the world you are. Welcome again to another great edition of the Logan's Hour. Today is another beautiful edition of the Logan's Hour, and it's like right now it's 6:27 in the United States, and we have so many things to talk about. But before we can go through them, we want to say share the show, tell somebody to tell somebody that are looking at his own. I know I've been receiving these complaints about the show, and we have not been so consistent as we started because these things happen, other things pop up like that. So tell somebody to tell somebody that looking at his own. So we'll be right back. All right. Welcome again. Welcome again. And as I stated today, we are glad to be with you again. Today is the 30th of November, which is considered to be the last day in November. Some of you who went to school in Liberia and some of you who went to school over here, I guess you know your days of the week, you know your months of the year. And those of us who were privileged enough to go to school in Liberia as well, we we used to always sing this song called 30 Day has September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 31 days except for February, which have 28 days and 29 days in the leap year. So some of you people here, you people all grown now, you can't remember those things. So well, in the future we will have probably we will try to have a how they call some SSO competition here, so we can see some of the big boys if they can still remember the SSO and some of the other things. So, but in all fairness, we want to say to you all, welcome and thank you for joining us again today. Today promised to be another great edition of the Logan's Hour. Let me set the microphone right in front of my mouth. So, some people say they let hear me talk. Some people say it's been a while they haven't heard me talk and they miss my voice. Oh my gosh, what about my voice? People are like, I miss your voice. I miss your voice. What about my voice? Yeah, but however, we are here again. We are here again. Share the show with somebody. Tell somebody to tell somebody that Logan always the Logan always here to stay. I can say this for sure. We are here. And those of you who watching us from all around want to say thank you for joining us. I see the greatest SYZ join us, the greatest struggle of the Liberian Old Timer Association, John Z. Akwe. I see he's following right now. I see my own old man sis is a better Nimba. She's following right now. And I see some of you here who following. The reason why some of you I can't call your name because when you're following secretly, I can see you on my real page, but if you do not make comment, other people cannot see you. So sometimes if you do not make comment, I don't want to just call your name before you be like, oh, I ain't wanting to call my name. I just follow him secretly and he announcing my name. So that's why sometimes if I don't announce a name like that, it means probably you want to be exposed. So I just keep it as it is. But I want to say to all of you who join us here today, I want to say thank you for joining Logan's Hour. And some of you who will join us later, I want to also say thank you. And most especially to my MVPs, those who watch the show after the show. And you guys are the real deal. You got a real deal. those that watch the show after the show, I want to say to all of you, thank you. And let me say this. The Liberian Association of Indiana today, uh, it is with deep, deep, deep sorrow that we come here again to announce the death of another resident of this Liberian community. Just a week ago, I was here and also talking about the death of one of our permanent person in this community. And now the Liberian community is mourning again another great, great person who serve a community. And most of these things when it happen, we say it is the Lord's doing. God give it and God take it. And I always say to all of those who is now alive, I always ask this question to you. You see me, I one person who live my life as there's if no tomorrow, because tomorrow is not a promise. I do what is right. I try to leave a mark that will be so exemplary for my children to follow. So I always say to people, tomorrow is not a promise. There's no time to say, tomorrow I will do better. Tomorrow I'll be the person that I have long tried to be. So today we are mourning one of our own mother. We are mourning one of our own mother. Um, the wife of one of our permanent pastor, and he's a member of the Liberian Old Timer Association, and he also the head of the Christian Assembly of the of Indiana. And today, it is a sad news to come up here and talk about the passing of his wife. Some of you don't know what it takes. Some of you don't know how people feels when they're going through these difficult times. I know it. I saw my mom, she lived it. I saw her living that, her friend that she knew from her little girl. And all of a sudden, death snatching away. And I want to say to the bereaved family, to Pastor Law, Tehat, to all of you out there who lost your loved ones, and not announcing it to the community, you're also grieving somebody so dearly. Even if you love somebody so dearly and the person passed in Africa, yes, indeed, you are mourning someone so dearly. And I want to say to you all, our hearts are with you people. Our prayers and thoughts. And at this crucial stage, mourning a loved one, it's not something small. I want to break protocol. Welcome back to Indiana, Honorable Race W. Basigia, former Deputy Minister, Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs, and Tourism, President of the United Basa Association, Indiana chapter, and a friend to Philip Logan as well. Welcome back to Indiana, my dear brother. And to my dear brother and friend, Paul James Japa. Paul, welcome to the Logan's Hour. Thank you for joining this program. And to my own sister, Brittany. That's the wife of King Yuji Doswa. Welcome. And to my dear sister, she just love peace. Welcome. And to the most powerful youth personalities in this Liberian community, the woman who have the voice of command, the woman who can say move and the young people move. She's no one else but the most powerful Brandy Alpha. She's following this program right now. I want to say welcome, our youth chairperson, Brandy Alpha, to the Logan's Hour. And, you know, hey, Emmanuel Mose, Nawe Son Tokpa Jr., welcome. You're following us from Banga, Bon County. All right, let's get to it. So, I was here just a few days ago talking about how we lost one of our persons from the community, one of those permanent, one of our permanent resident, in person of Mr. Renfer Weir. Some of you saw him in the community. I know, my sister. We will address it. That would be Heno. Don't post soon, bro. I got one rest eater here too. He said he can give people hell so that he can even make me to miss my show. The Honorable Robert C. Carey following this program as well. So it shows that this show gonna be a little hot. I see the deputy youth chairman, the deputy youth chair, or the co-youth chair, or the youth co-chairperson, and the financial secretary of the most powerful social soccer group in town here, called the Liberian Old Timer of Ediana, and Mr. Morris Guo. I see him also following us here today. And not forgetting, I see my own darling princess, the love of my life, the woman who I can sacrifice my one finger for, Samar Princess Liwei Hamu Logan. She's also following us here. And before I get in trouble, I want to say to my darling wife, happy pre-birthday. December 9 is your birthday. And happy pre-birthday to my daughter. December 7 is her birthday. And happy pre-birthday to my son. December 23rd is his birthday. So everybody just following December. So I want to say to all of you who join us, we are grateful. We want to use this time to say a very big thank you to all of you who joined the program here. And we have so much to talk about. But the reason why we are slow in terms of how we speak now, because the community is bereaved. We want to put a lot of pressure in our voice. And I see Tiamon taking over by Honorable Riz W. Basi Gia just joined us. I see my dear brother Emre Debris just joined us. And I see tons of people keep joining us. So the reason why we're putting a lot of force in our voice tonight is because the community is bereaved. We want to come here and speak so how then people who don't know think that we are insensitive. We are not cognizant of what is happening in the community, but we will lay our people to rest. Hey, my dear sister Aye Boaka, congratulations, my dear sister. Congratulations. Yeah, now we have the presidency. Now you are our first family. The other day I was talking about show. I say, Aye, don't forget about your brother System One. No. I know when you watch that show, you're just laughing. You say, if it didn't want for the SH. System One. All right, so our community is bereaved. You know, some of you who know our community is bereaved. I have been talking about it, and all my boys there, all my Mimi men joining me tonight. Oh, tonight show looking at a good show. Yeah. Anyway, we'll put fire inside. And not forgetting, before we can go to our bereavement, our death announcement, everything, we want to use this time to say happy birthday to our own dear father and President-elect, His Excellency Honorable Joseph Yuma Boaka, President-elect, Republic of Liberia. We want to say happy birthday to you, Opap. as you celebrate your day today, we wish you God's blessing. We wish you strength. We wish you happiness. We wish you all of the best that life can ever have for anybody else. So as you take on the mantle of authority to lead the people of Liberia, we ask for God wisdom. We ask that God grant you the wisdom that He granted Solomon during those days, so that at least you can show the younger generation the direction to which Liberia should go going forward after 2029. So at this point, I'm calling on everyone in the Republic and outside the Republic to wish the President-elect, Honorable Joseph Yuma Boaka, a very big, happy birthday. All right, so we have few of our people in the community. We have two permanent persons in our community who lost their life, and we have our dear big brother, Mr. Winfro Weah. Some of you who knows about his passing, it has been discussed in the Liberian community for some time. I talked about it the other day on the show. It was one of the moments where I was broken. I came on the show and I talk about his passing, and I talk about when I received the news on my way from work. It was devastating. That's something that I never expected, because I learned that he was recovering gradually, and I was praying for him to overcome his situation. But the good old Lord has a way to recall people. He gave it, he take it. So I want his dear wife, to keep being strong, because today is just the day we are here. Tomorrow is not a promise. So he can recall at any time. So as you go through your moment, I want to say to you, Mrs. Weah, take heart. Take heart. It is the Lord's doing. And I think in response to this, excuse me, the Liberian Association of Indiana, I think they wrote a tribute uh or death announcement. And if, as you can see on, oh, that's not him. They have the death announcement in the Liberian community. I don't know if you can see it. I can see it, but it's a little smaller. So I'll go on the screen to read that if I can. So some of you who are already on it, if you can read it, it's not a problem. So I'm just going to go through it right now as we see it. So they said death announcement, Reverend Winfrey Weah. It is with deep sorrow and heavy hearts that we announce the passing of Reverend Winfrey Weah, a beloved member of our community and a devoted spiritual leader, husband, father, and grandfather. Reverend Weah departed from this world on Tuesday, November 21st, 2023, leaving behind his beloved wife, children, mother, siblings, and a host of other relatives and friends. Reverend Weah's contribution as a spiritual leader and mentor have left an indelible mark on the hearts and minds of those who he had privilege of knowing him. Those who had the privilege of knowing him. Sorry about that. As we come together to mourn his loss, let us also celebrate the impact he has on our lives and the positive influence he exerted in our community. In this time of grief, we extend our deepest condolences to his family, friends, and all those who were touched by his warmest wisdom. Duties regarding his funeral arrangement will be shared with the community in coming days. Meanwhile, you may contact his wife, Mrs. Lydia G. Weah. So her number here is 317 698 6355 to sympathize. So this is from the Liberian community of Indiana. So those of you who would love to sympathize with the wife of Reverend Weah, you can also call the number that I just read to sympathize with the Weas family. And also, we woke up to the news of the passing of one of our but now the Weas family have put up the funeral and everything, so the announcement is out there as well. So those of you who would love to know the announcement, so you can see it right up here. They say in loving memory of Reverend Winfrey Weah, July 8th, 1967 to November 21st, 2023. Wake keeping, Friday, December 22nd, 2023. Wake keeping, Friday, December 22nd, 2023 at 4 o'clock p.m. So the wake keeping going to be from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. The funeral service is going to be on Saturday, December 23rd, 2023, 10 o'clock a.m. Funeral service, Saturday, December 23rd, 2023, 10 o'clock a.m. They're going to be at the Crown Hill Funeral Chapel. So the address here is 700 West 38th Street, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46208. 700 West 38th Street, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46208. And the interment will be at the Crown Hill Cemetery. So those of you who want the details as to the late Reverend Weah, we just read those information to you. So get ready as they lay Reverend Weah to rest. And if some of you who just joining the show and do not know about his funeral arrangements and when he will be laid to rest, so the family has put that up. So Reverend Winfrey Weah, he was born July 8th, 1967, and he passed on November 21st, 2023. Wake keeping going to be on Friday, December 22nd, 2023, from 4 o'clock p.m. to 7 o'clock p.m. Funeral service going to be on Saturday, December 23rd, 2023, 10 o'clock a.m. Funeral service going to be at the Crown Hill Funeral Chapel. So it's going to be, the address is 700 West 38th Street, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46201. Interment going to be at the same Crown Hill Cemetery. So those of you who don't have the information, we just provided the information to you. So it will be a good thing that you try to identify with the family at this time of their loss. Because as I stated, it's not something small to lose somebody who you so dearly, dearly, dearly care about. Now my own big brother here, Philip Bisa Telewayon. Our way fire soon, big brother. Big brother, welcome to the Logan's Hour. Thank you for joining me today. Yeah, our big brother down there. Wow. Way fire. Yeah, so some of you who just joining, that was the death announcement from our own brother Winfrey, our own big brother Winfrey Weah. And the Liberian community also of Indiana just lost another person, the wife of our own dear pastor, Pastor Willie. And this is the death announcement as well. Pastor Willie lost his wife just a few days or 2 days ago. And, we are calling on community members to keep her in prayers, because keep him in prayers, because it's not easy to go through these difficult times. I can rest assure you it's not easy. So the death announcement, let's see if we can go through it. Though it's a little smarter, but we're going to go through it as you're following us here. On Monday, November 27, 2023, we learned of the passing of one of the pillars of our community, Mother Hannah Willie. As a community, we are deeply saddened by this irreparable loss. Mama Willie, as she was affectionately called, was a devoted Christian and the mother of the Life Connect Ministry International. She was also a devoted wife, a loving mother, auntie, and a dear sister to many. Please join us in extending our deepest condolences to the Willie family during this time of grief. As we come together as a community, let us remember the wonderful person Mother Hannah Willie was and the fond memory she left us with. The funeral arrangement in honor of Mother Hannah Willie, life will be announced in the coming days. We are, however, encouraged to visit the family or call Reverend Peter Willie at 317 740 4181 to sympathize with the family. May the soul of Mama Willie rest in perpetual peace. Signed, Julius K. Parker, President, Liberian Association of Indiana. Approved, Reverend Peter Willie, husband of the deceased. So as he heard that, our community, we are grieving. We are grieving. We lost two people. So at this point, we want to say to the bereaved family, take heart, take heart, take heart. We understand what you're going through. Pastor Willie, take heart. To lose your wife is not a small thing. I saw my mom when she was grieving, when she lost her husband. So I know it's not easy to lose somebody who you so dearly care about. But it is the weight of the law. It is the weight of the law. It is God who give it, and it is God who take it. And in this time of grief, that's when we have to fight to build our strength because we are Christian. So let's unite. Call Pastor Willie if you can. Visit him if you can. And don't forget, our dear brother, what's his name? Jan Volule. He has been posting issues of Pastor Willie and the passing of other people in the community. So more details, you can click on the Liberian community chat to see some of the things that Jan Volule has posted about Pastor Willie. I think I overheard him saying that members of the community has been going there to sympathize with Pastor Willie. So if you want to go and sympathize, they've been having community services. You can also go there and sympathize and say sorry to the bereaved family as well. And to even the Willie family, though the funeral services will be coming up soon. I read the information right here. So you can also stay pop in to say sorry because they will lay their loved one to rest December 23rd on my son's birthday. So I won't remember I won't forget this day. So you can also pop in to say sorry to the Wias family. And also if you need more information, Jan Volule always posting more information in the chat room. Jada, somebody met me and they were talking about when Jan posts the information can be too much to the point where when you see the writing too much, you won't read, or you can just pop out. Hey, I say, okay, I will talk to Jan. At least Jan can reduce it, but you got to understand too, Jan will soon be getting doctorate degree, so Jan got to be writing like somebody who obtaining a doctorate degree. So Jan can want to tell you, say, the funeral will be tomorrow, but Jan will explain about how he passed and everything else and talk about life circumstances. Then at the end of the day, he count down and say, therefore, the funeral will be tomorrow. So get used to it. So if you want to know what Jan actually trying to say, just go to the end. He will have the whole information to the end. So all the other one, you can be explaining from the beginning coming all the way to the end. Those are for the intellectual class. So the intellectuals who love to read and love to do all those things, they can go through and read all the paragraphs Jan can write. Because I know the person who called me person. I know they were joking and saying, they say, this time like something happened. I said, what happened? He said, when y'all want to explain small thing, y'all can read 4 or 5 paragraphs. And that's sometimes I just to say good morning. Just to say how my sympathy to say y'all can rest every paragraph. I say, y'all leave that to my own brother. The man have coming up to a doctorate degree, so y'all got to expect what kind of writing in now. So you saw when Jeremiah said it, when he was doing his final studies to get his doctorate degree, everything Jeremiah said, he's a big words. So you got to understand that. Don't be surprised when y'all start using big words on all here too. Yeah. So like one of my men called him right, Melvin Weeks. The man came one day. I look at the man. The man won't tell me that you were trying to say the downfall of a man is not the end of his life. So the boy came. The boy said the temerity of the omnipotence, the commencement of sagacity. I said, what do you mean? He said, "Oh, you understand it?" I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "I'm trying to say the downfall of a man is not the end of his life." I said, He said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, keep out on because my Oma, you listen to this news, not what it." Oma, yeah, you're gonna spoil it, yeah. So yeah, I'm pleased, yeah, brother. Just do the long rating, but when it comes to speaking a lot of jargons, please, my Oma can be around sometimes. So, but notwithstanding, we appreciate you. I just kidding. I just cracking joke, yeah. So don't take that too serious. So let's talk about a few things. You know me, I will not come here and talk all the other things that on top of the Liberian community. So I want to say to all of the Bereaved family again, sorry for your loss. We can sit here and not uh reflect on those who we lost from our community. So we are deeply sorry on behalf of the Logan's Hour. We want to say to our dear Pop, Pastor Peter Willie, we want to say sorry. All right, let's go to A again. Let's go to A. So today we'll not talk too much, will not be so hot because we know our community bereaved. So let's talk about a few things confronting all that we have right now on our decks. So some of you saw last weekend or last week, there was this whole tit for tat going on between the Secretary General of the Liberian Community or the Liberian Association of Indiana. It's not the Liberian community specifically. It is the association within the Liberian community. So not necessarily that everybody who's part of the Liberian community here is a member of the association. Some people, they are Liberians living in the Liberian community and choose not to become member of the Liberian Association. So to become member of the Liberian Association of Indiana, it is your choice. So if you go and fill the membership form, you become member by filling the membership form and paying your dues. So if you're a Liberian living in the Liberian community, you don't necessarily have to become member of the Liberian Association of Indiana. The Liberian Association of Indiana is just an association. It's not mandatory that if you're a Liberian living here, you have to join the association. It's just an association. So we have to first get that to our mind because sometimes we feel that once you in this community, it means automatically you are one of those Liberians living in Indiana and you are a member of the Liberian Association. No, not by default. Not by default. You can be living in the Liberian community and choose not to be part of the association. So let's get that straightened up. Okay, so some of you who don't know the Liberian Association, we have the Liberian Association, just a little small organization. It's a non-for-profit organization that is here to care for those of their organization members, and also by extension, sometimes they extend their wings and the tentacles other places such as Liberia, caring for the needy and other things. So currently we have the codes of officers. We have like 5 elected officials, and those 5 elected officials, when you look on the screen here, we have the president in the blue coat, Mr. Julius K. Parker. We have Mr. Richard P. Boya Jr. And we have the tall fellow in the middle. We have Mr. Robert C. Carey. And we have our dear sister, the only female general in the midst of them there, Fatima Fambule. And we have our dear brother Hottie, pretty boy Hottie. We have Hottie Palmer. So those are the elected officials. Those are the people who steer in the affairs of this Liberian Association of Indiana. So before we get into the topic here, if you're just joining us, don't forget you are on the Logan's Hour. Stick and still. All right. That's a Logan's Hour. When I hear that, bah, boom, 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 my heart can be beating small, now because I can be missing my wife. Hey, God, it's bad to get only one woman. Because when you pass it, you still miss her. Honorable Tali Voga, welcome, my dear brother. So this is what I wanted to talk about. Well, let's go into it. Let's talk about our dear association, the Librarian Association. Like I stated here, because sometimes there are a lot of misconception. People don't believe that if you live here and you're a Liberian, you don't necessarily have to become a member of the association. So some people feel that if you are here, automatically you are a member of the association. It's not the case. You can live in the Liberian community and choose not to become a member of the Liberian Association of Indiana. So we talk about these things because it is important for all to talk about these things. You see, the other day I was here and I was talking about I was talking about some of the quotes of the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And he said these words, and I quote: "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter." And in this case, we have so many things that matter to us. The time is always right to do what is right. And the reason why I keep talking about this here, right? Because I know in the end, we will not remember the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. Today, we hear stressing and talking about issues, thinking about how to make these things good. And people think that we are noise maker. I know somebody can sit there and talk about me, say they don't want a noise maker. Whatever you do, you would just talk the opposite. And somebody called me, the person was saying those things, and be like, okay, Philip, I say, yeah. They say, why always time when you come to talk about the Librarian Association, you don't talk about the positive things, you talk about the errors they are making. I say, give me two positive things that they are doing, with the exception of the youth department. The person can call one. I said, then what should I talk about? The person say, oh, but. I say, it's not about but. It's about you just telling me, just name two positive things that the association is doing that members are benefiting from, that I can come on my show and highlight and talk about it. You see, the reason why sometimes when the youth department is carrying on function here, function there, I'm there to provide my services, is because they are doing something. They are doing something. And when they are doing something, I have to be there. I have to be there. And you members of the Liberian community, yes, you can also, yeah. But the reason why when I come here, I do not bother so much to talk about, oh, the president, the vice president, because nothing going on. So when I come here, I always try to provide some alternatives. I always try to provide some recommendations that we all can move this boat that we're in. Because the association do not, first of all, let me just say something to everybody, because some people don't get it right. It's not sign of breaking or sign of disrespect to anything. But let's put it in a real perspectives. The association is not giving me anything. So I can choose not to even talk about them. I can choose not to talk about the association. It's just an association. It's just the same way you hear you go on the Indiana business website and you register your business. And you register the business and put the business on a 501c3 status, which is a non-for-profit status, a business before honor. It is the same with the association. So anybody could register an association. It's just an association here to bring Liberians together to know the problems that some Liberians are facing. So, like I said from the beginning of this program, it's not necessarily that every Liberian live in the area of Indiana have to become member of the association. It's just an association. It's like any other organization that anybody can form. So, if we choose to become member of this organization and decide to talk about how can we better up the organization, people shouldn't see it as we are being negative. The fact that we can talk about it, it is good that sometimes leaders have listening ears. Come to the table. Let's talk about it. Because the former California governor, he said what? Every child has a story that worth listening to. So every individual in this community has something that can benefit this institution. Sometimes it just have to be, it don't necessarily have to be a formal meeting. Oh, we having meeting tomorrow. Oh, we having this tomorrow. So that it just got to be just okay, guys, we understand the organization have been going through some difficult times. So we want to see how well we can have this chat with the leadership. Let's see how can we pull your ideas combined with our ideas, and where can we take this organization that we all so cherish to bring Liberian together, because that's the sole purpose, to identify Liberian living here and there, and how we can foster unity among us. So it's not nothing else that when one person or group of people become the leaders of the institution, then they see it as they have gained authority, they have gained power, and the rest of the other people, they are subservient to them. It's not a case. It's not a case. There's not where to do chest beating and prove who is the bigger person, who is the leader, who is the this, who is the that. So now when I see people going that way and thinking in that direction, it baffles me. It baffles me. It baffles me so bad, because it just shows how sometimes we become mediocre. We become mediocre. Because if you would think about some institution or just organization that can be registered by anybody else, then we so personal about it. We take things far on a whole different 360 level. It shows to how we think. It shows to how we think. Because every individual here. So now, sometimes I understand. I know somebody call me and say, "Oh, by the way, you can go. Sometimes you can go too hard on the bull memory and the papini and the papini." I say, "Okay, that's true." But let's talk about it too. What do we have the bull for? Why do we decide to pull others on the bull? If you look at the conglomerations of people on that bull, the smaller or the younger age you find on the bull, they are in the 50. So if somebody who in 50 years, they're now a baby, they're now a kid, they are adults. So we found older people to sit on the boat, because we wanted to help us to use their wisdom. So that when you see y'all going your local headed, things going helter scatter, we expect people to bring us back together, put us back in check. That's what the pastoral council, anyway, none of the pastoral council, they abuse. So I ain't going to talk about it. I ain't going to go too hard today. I'll take it easy. Let me just go directly to what is happening between the president and his Secretary General, Mr. Robert C. Carey. We can hear we talk about it. We talk about it. We were so tough about talking about it. We wrote thinking that would serve as a means for the president to call his Secretary General to just a little meeting. My man, how you doing? Let's sit down today. Let's have a talk. E5, my wife, where you at? Sonny, yeah. Fit pepper soup. Robert coming here today. That is secretary that was Sonny. That bought your ball. And you scratch it up. And you move this little organization. This is just an organization, my people. This is not national politics. This is a community organization that even anybody can establish. If it wasn't for the love of this community, even me, I can go down Indiana and register an organization called Liberians in Indiana and go right in the same community. People disenchanted, I don't want to be with the Liberian Association, they will come and fill membership form and become members of that same organization. It will be a 501c3 that will be doing the same thing the Liberian Association doing here. So nothing different. Nothing different. So if you find a group of people coming to the organization or to the association, going to use their time to go and vote and vote it into power, they expect you to lead with some level of example. You have to exemplify yourself in a way where they will not regret walking under the rains and the sun to go in and canvass and vote for you. To see a group of people who came together as one unit say, "Oh, you know what happened? This is my Secretary General. This is my Vice President. This is my this." How can I, in the first year of the administration, the President and the Secretary General disagreement has tended to be perpetual? How come? And when you look at it from a whole standpoint, those of us who did administrative structure and behavior and did something in leadership, it's just a clear, simple thing. The president should put to the back of his mind that all the arm twisting and chest beating, it do not do better for him. And it's the president who have his legacy. His legacy is on the line. Robert Carey is the Secretary General. They do not remember him after this administration. They will say the Parker's administration. So it is Parker legacy that is on the line. So when the president and his secretary general will be disagree on something as simple as the secretary general pointing out some errors in the constitution that need that identical point of saying, hey, Mr. President, we have to review this. The president shouldn't have beat his chest about it. The president shouldn't have brought this to the public in the first place. This should have been curtailed. The secretary general should have been called. The president and the secretary general should have sat down and talk about this, and the president should have called an entire meeting with a whole cabinet. But this time here in December, what we expected from the president's supposed to be calling his entire cabinet to his house or somewhere else for the year-end celebration, telling them how well we have performed and how well we have served the people of Indiana. So I just call you guys to cook this pepper soup and buy this small bottle or something to tell you thank you. That's how it works, Mr. President, in this day and age. But for me to see, a few days ago, the president posted, the president used his vice president, Mr. Richard Boyer, to post the agenda or the notice for the next meeting, as you can see on the screen. They said general meeting Sunday, December 3rd, 2023, 3:30 p.m. 55 South State Avenue, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46201. So let's take this. The president posted, asked the secretary general to post, let me say the vice president to post the notice about the meeting that is coming up on Saturday, knowing that he still have a secretary general. The secretary general is still here. The secretary general is still part of the organization, and you posting it almost like what the people can call, the English people can call usurping the function of another person. You can take the main function and give it to the vice president. But right, you see, today the community is bereaved, so I will not be too strong in my wordings. I will be so soft. But Mr. President, Mr. Julius Parker, you my own friend. Let me tell you, you my own friend. You are a nice guy. I like your being. You quiet. You cannot let mad at me. You're not too radical. You're a nice guy. So keep it as it is. Lead by example. Inspire people. Just a little smile you always give so that when you're around, people love. You can be dealing with people and you can also be smiling with people. So it's not something that you got to be fighting that who is the hair? Yeah, I'm the hair. Raul Kerry, not the hair. But now, this should have been handled. This should have been handled a long time. Even the issue about a meeting, you should have asked your secretary general to post the issue about a meeting. If a secretary general still feels that he have issues, go solve the problem. What a big deal you call the secretary general solve a problem, Mr. President? What a thing where you can't hold your say, oh, we're not speaking. You're inside of this speaking, you're the secretary general. Then how you expect the institution to run? The function of the secretary general was never designated to him by the president. Mr. President learned that today. The secretary general, he was elected by the Liberian people of Indiana. So by right, his function is spelled out in the Constitution. So, Mr. President, you don't usurp his function. You don't give his function to somebody else. The vice president, Mr. Richard Boyer, is your able deputy. I know he worked in your absence. He worked when you designate function to him. But if I were your vice president, I would have stood in your face and tell you, Mr. President, in all fairness, what Mr. Kerry is saying, that I violated certain provisions within the Liberian Association Constitution, I believe I didn't. But however, I want us to call a meeting that we can sit and talk about this. If he refuses, I want to talk to the bull and we have these things to rest. It's nothing about us shooting or acting like, oh, we can't talk about it. In fact, it may get frisky. Nobody is getting frisky. People are all co-equals. It's just looking at somebody from the House of Representatives saying to somebody in the judiciary branch that person getting frisky or that person a small boy to me. That's why they have 3 separate, equal and coordinated branches of government. So all of you here, 5 of you that were elected, the Liberian people now made mistake to put that in the Constitution. that the executive official should be elected? Because they don't want you, the president, to be to become so powerful that you can just tell Raul Kiri, say, oh, from today you fire. Because I can say to you, with your attitude this time, if Raul Kiri was appointed by you, you are going to fire him. You're going to fire him. And he was elected. Or are you equal? Separate functions. The reason why even in the Liberian government they can say the president get power is because the president enforces the law. But before he enforces that law, who makes the law? The first branch of government, the legislature. And now even the law, what the president going to enforce, who interprets? The judiciary branch. So it means that everybody is important in this place. You are looking to be the president. You are looking to be the vice president. You are looking to be the secretary general. You are looking to be the parliamentarian. You are looking to be the financial secretary. You need to stop arm twisting people. Allow people to function to where they are assigned. I always say this thing on this program here. Division of labor. The reason why they brought that big word called division of labor. Division of labor brings about specialization of tax. That's what division of labor does. It allows people to specialize in a specific tax. So, Mr. President, the thing with you and Mr. Kerry, you needed to stop it a long time. Now see how embarrassing it is. The board of the Liberian Association of Indiana, chairperson, Mr. Inisha George, Secretary General, Mr. H. Momo Famule, sent out a communication today. And in that communication, they're calling you and Mr. Robert Kerry and all involved parties, but the use of phrase they're called stakeholders. And I know the board are not calling all stakeholders. They're calling parties involved. Parties involved. Because I would have loved to be there on Saturday. I wanted to be there. I'm a stakeholder in the Liberian community. But I know if I go to that kind of meeting, the first thing the board going to tell me, oh, are you a party to this case? And I will say no. And they will ask me out. And one thing about me, I don't like people maybe disrespecting me or doing something else. So for that reason, I won't go there. But what I would do, I will reach out to Dr. Fambule to ask him, when you say stakeholders in your meeting, in your letter, who are those are you referring to? Because if the board can say to you that I want to have a conference on Saturday, let me say on Friday, then on Saturday, you're going to have meeting. Who are those you intend to call to the meeting? Because it's possible you could go to whatever conference with the board and the board recommends something else. Then what next? What next, Mr. Parker? Because at this time, we got to be so smart in dealing with people. Even if I had any intention to go to that meeting on Saturday, I won't go for one reason. Because we have nothing to discuss. We have absolutely nothing to discuss. Because the Liberian Association at this time, they have absolutely nothing to discuss. The simplest thing to do is to resolve the issue between the president and the secretary general. If the president cannot resolve the issue between the president and the secretary general, the community have nothing to go discuss. So what are you going to say there when you're going to sit down in the meeting? Even members in the executive haven't seen even agenda first. So what are they going to discuss? Oh, we call you here today to tell you thank you. The year and account to the end. Okay, so what else? The team between the president and the secretary general, the board call, we can't discuss it right now because we're waiting for the board. So what next? So it means getting from my house to go to the Liberian Association office downtown, it's a waste of time. It is cold. It is cold. When you want to call the people out there who they are your taxpayer or dues payer, call them for reasons that make sense, that is genuine. I would love to go to a meeting and see the Secretary General taking down meeting minutes. I would love to go to a meeting and see the Secretary General reading the past meeting minutes. So now the meeting you're going to, who's going to read the past meeting minutes? When the only custodian of that information is the Secretary General. And he will not be in the meeting because the president deliberately took upon himself to become the Secretary General, become the president, which of course is wrong, Mr. Parker. You are usurping the function of the Secretary General. If they think we're not yet community organization, but now we're supposed to be calling for your impeachment. Some of us, we decided to go solo now on the Librarian Association. We say, no, let's just be cool. Let's just don't stress about it anymore. Even I decided not to even talk about it anymore. The person who can always push me say, oh, go talk about the association small now. Because you know, they put in time, they depending on you. That where somebody, oh man, and the papa, they go and get a news from. They can go in the group chat to go read. People who it's not part of the group chat, where they get a news. Y'all tell her, thank you, my wife. But I decided not to even talk about the association. I decided to just go solo on the association. Because at this time, the president, the secretary general, a whole team of officers are supposed to be sitting on the table and be planning now for 2024. Gentlemen, 2023, what have we achieved? Let's catalog all the things we're supposed to do if we achieve any. If not, let's look at next year. What can we achieve in next year? But now going into the next year, while you're secretary general fighting, now in case you go to the meeting, the board call on Saturday or Friday or whatever day, and the board decided that, well, Parker, we understand what Roberts is saying is legitimate, so we therefore ask that the meeting be canceled. What will you do? Will you come back to the community and give all 1 day notice that, oh, the meeting for Saturday, for Sunday, the meeting have been canceled? So that is not cool. That is not cool. So the board wrote Mr. Parker and the entire community yesterday. And the announcement from the board, those of you who in all the various chat rooms, I think you saw it. The board said the Liberian board will meet in conference with the executive committee of the Liberian Association of Indiana, led by President Julius Parker, on Saturday, December 2, 2023, at 5:00 p.m. at the home of the board member, H. Momo family. The address is 1446 BEARSDEN Drive, Avon, Indiana 46123. The conference will be in person and or virtual, depending on your work schedules of the stakeholders of both sides. You see that? He used a good word. Stakeholder of both sides. The conference will address the contagious issue raised by the LDR Secretary General against the administration, specifically the Vice President. The Secretary General accused. You see what the board said? The Secretary General accused the association of shielding the Vice President, whom he believes violated the absentee clause of the Constitution of LAR. The conference will consider the fidelity of the accusation and proffer a way forward toward resolution. All right, that's a good one. But let's talk about it in actuality. What are both hoping to achieve? The board hoping to achieve a good resolution. How can we solve this problem? All right. Now, if you're going to solve a problem which is of this nature, that the person who has been accused, he's not been accused on something that is so easy to deal with. He has been accused on one of the most important instruments that we have in this community, which is the Constitution, the bare rocks on which this organization stands. So that should have been something that the president is supposed to say, well, this is supposed to be something that's going to call to attention. Yeah. That's something that the president is supposed to say, oh, you know what? This is a serious matter. The way the board call me now, they'll talk about these things. So I believe it will be the best time for us to address this thing and see how we can move this association forward. So I'm therefore calling on the Secretary General and all parties involved. The meeting for Sunday should be canceled. You have to cancel the meeting for Sunday and listen to the bull and hear what will be the outcome of the bull's meeting. Then you can call the Liberian Association now to a general meeting where you have the Secretary General seated, and now the way forward can be discussed. But other than that, I can rest assure you, Mr. Parker, it's like you're fighting yourself. Yeah, I hate to see people fighting their own shadow because at the end of the day, it will come back to the same old place I'm telling you that you have to call your Secretary General and say, Mr. Robert Carey, that bargain be bargain. You my own man. It happened the way it happened, and let's move forward. Because all this stress you're going through, you shouldn't have been going through this stress. Mr. Richard P. Boya, even Mr. Richard P. Boya agrees that he never violated any laws. So he agreed that they should take it to the body. All you needed to do, put it on the agenda, tell the body, yes, this is the concern. What you people say about it? And call Mr. Robert Carey to prove his allegation. But all that time, you use Mr. Jeremiah Chie to go in the group chat and call Mr. Robert C. Carey or renegade and all the names, the adjectives he used on Robert C. Carey. Those are the things that exacerbated the entire thing. That's how you saw some of us coming up to respond to you in the way we did. So it's not late. It's not late. Those things can be addressed. And I'm using my best voice because the community is bereaved. I'm using the best voice I can ever use, the voice my wife loved for me to use. She can say, use your inner voice. And that's what I'm using, Mr. Parker. If you could just go to your bed and have a sober reflection and say, well, I'm the president and this community forward movement resting on my shoulder. I am the captain on this ship. If I'm making plow with people who's in the back and helping this ship, the engine, then how can this ship move in a better direction? The direction of which we are on now is not the right direction. I see we're bumping. So how can we stop all the little bumps? Even Mr. Parker, right now, if I just tell you, say, though this is an organization where all not-for-profit organization that everybody who's appointed or elected, they are doing voluntary jobs. So holding them accountable, that's something that needs to be paramount. And you will also say to me, oh, people doing a free job, so you got to learn to have a free flow. But I can rest assure you by now in December, you should have been asking every committee give you a comprehensive breakdown of activities that they took or they undertook in 2023. Then see what they told you that they were going to achieve as to their calendar event and see what they actually achieved and go into 2024 and see what you think that they hope to achieve in 2024. Those are things we have to be discussing. But now, the most powerful man in your administration, who is the Secretary General, the custodian of your association or your administration documentation, the man who is clothed with the responsibility when it comes to information dissemination, that the man you're fighting. You're just looking at you travel to Hong Kong. Ambassador, welcome, man. You're looking at you travel to Hong Kong. You can speak Chinese. Then they bring one interpreter who's supposed to interpret for you. Then you begin plow with the interpreter. What is the interpreter going to say? If he say, your head of the interpreter will say, he say how you're dirty. You can understand it? No. It's the same thing you're doing. Because going to the meeting, giving the vice president the function of the Secretary General is wrong, Mr. President. Winter Snow, welcome to the Logan's Hour. Tutu Makati, Looking Our Princess, welcome. Sis Vera Hamu, welcome. Orita Boto, Joe, welcome. And all of you who join us yet, my dear brother Oliver Yaba, welcome. And what's on the menu? What's on the menu? Oliver Yaba, Kiss Me and Pepper Sue, what's on the menu? G Raji, welcome. And all of you who join us here, Patty, Famule, the most powerful Financial Secretary, welcome. Mr. Roland Akwe, welcome to the Logan's Hour. So, Mr. President, Julius Parker, you are my own man. You are my own man. Aha! Trouble in town. Trouble in town. The most powerful ambassador have just made this pronouncement. You see on the screen? And this is the ambassador, Abba Moba. The man, let me tell you about Abba Moba. Some of you who don't know what me and Abba Moba pass. When we started the entire campaign, and Abba Moba is one of those, when he chooses a side, he do not compromise his side. He's lawyer. He fought me. And it keeps some days we're not speaking. And when I go to the practice ground on Saturday, I will see Aber. And you know, Aber already got a little attitude. You pump the chest and like that. And Aber stood behind this administration. He fought hard for this administration. And after the administration came to power, looking at all his activities, all his work schedule, all his travelings he can do, he still took on to the administration to serve as the co-chair on IRC, Information Research and something. Now, looking at everything that is going on, Mr. President, this is one of your able lieutenant that brought you to power. I remember when the president was doing his presentation, his campaign in our hall. I still remember Albert Moba was the one doing the PowerPoint and giving leaflet around from community to community, calling people. Now, Mr. Albert Moba is saying to you here, 7:34 p.m., November 30th, 2023, that the ambassador is watching for what is worth. After thorough examination, let it be announced that the ambassador stands with the SG, law and order. So the ambassador had make it clear to you, Mr. President, that he knows you are the president. He's not saying you are not the president. And even if you solve this problem or the little thing that going on here, it's still not stopping you from being the president. You will still be the president. Even if your administration ends today, you will still remain Julia Parker. You will still remain former president of this community. Mr. President, let me say this. Your tenure will end. Your tenure will end. Another person will come to become president. What matter here is if your tenures end, what legacy you want to leave behind for people who will reference you in the history book of this community. You wanted to say, honor Julius Parker's administration. These things happen. The same way today, Alvin Penner legacy is that he brought this association back to life after they were on life support. So you want to have something that tomorrow they will remember you for. They want to remember your administration to be chaotic. The president couldn't listen. The president was fighting everybody in your administration. President, if you're listening to me, we are in November. December is just a few days from now. Call some little party and call it appreciation dinner or appreciation get together and call all of your elected officials. Call them to that little party. Yes, that's true. Dr. Reverend Christopher Falafaya. You are so right. This should have been laid to rest long ago. You are right, Pastor. That's true. You see here? So if Pastor Fala, Abba Moba, and all the other people there who support you, Mr. Parker, they come in today to say, this should have been here a long time. This should have been controlled from the very time it started. Very time it started. Call Robert quick. Call your wife, Sonny. Mama, face kind of pepper soup. Your picking coming here to do. Robert, hey, oh my yo. Your Oma said, nah, hey, Robert, you at the first game, I'm picking. You and your big brother, you go talk. They think we don't lay it down. There was no need to come here and be holding and putting the president right here, the secretary general right here, the secretary general calling the president knee, the secretary general using Jeremiah Chi to call the secretary general, the president using Jeremiah Chi to call the secretary general knee, and has some or two jumping into the fight, which of course it was unnecessary. It was unnecessary. And some of the things that have been happening, it was easy in this matter here, Mr. President. And I laid here, Mr. President. I can rest assure you. The agenda for this meeting that is coming up on Sunday, Mr. President, the best you can do for us now, is to go and listen to what the board has to say on Saturday. And whatever outcome for the meeting on Saturday will inform you as to what your agenda will be for the meeting coming up for the Librarian Association of Indiana. Don't be in a hurry for this meeting, because I can rest assure you, you have very few things to discuss in the meeting and nothing of serious concern. Nothing of serious concern. So it shouldn't be as if you cancel this meeting, Robert Kerry is going to beat his chest to say, he cancel it. If he won't beat his chest, let him beat his chest, Mr. President. Those are vain glory. Those are simple glory. The glory you want tomorrow is your legacy after 3 years. What people will say about you. What people will remember of the great Julius Parker, who once served this community as financial secretary. He served the Men's Association in this capacity, and now he was privileged enough to serve the Librarian Association as president, and under his administration, these things happen. Let people read those in history book. Robert Kerry is a man with very fine vision. The man who decided to catalog the Librarian Association, everything that happened from under the first president to you, and put it in a magazine. Mr. President, you let our legacy die because of I didn't be mayor, yeah, I didn't president here. And the other day I was saying it here, people make it seem as if, Fide, and the way you are talking it. Listen, Mr. President, the thing that the people telling you that making your heart to be going up, just let it go. We understand that you are first among equals. And looking at it in the House of Parliament, they have the representatives. Among them, they will go together and vote one person. They call that person who? The Speaker of the House. The Speaker of the House is not a boss man for nobody. The Speaker of the House is just first among equal. But they were all elected. So, Mr. President, you and all the people were elected the same day. They see number of people that went to the polls to vote you. They see number of people voted people then in. So, you people are all equals but have different functions. The difference between you and them, you have the enforcing power. That will make you a little powerful. But the other people have their own function. It's like the example I gave with the Liberian government. When they say 3 separate and coordinated branches, the House of Legislature, Judiciary, and the executives. The executives, they are more powerful because they enforce the law. But the judiciary is also powerful because they interpret that law you will enforce. And the executive, the legislature is more powerful because they make the law. So there's no way you, the president, can tell a lawmaker, say, I will fire you. Because if that was the case, then me, president, we are supposed to fire you again for a long time. So Robert have the same power as you. If Robert were appointed by you, you could fire him. But in a case, it can't happen. So, Mr. President, what kind of legacy you want to leave? What kind of legacy? If y'all be 14, we're about to go to 2024. I can tell you today, I give you my best voice. I give you my inner voice. The voice that more people to hear, and sometimes I don't use it. Because it's about conflict resolution. It's about time to talk the hard talk. It's today. Some of the people who admire you so much, Mr. Reverend Dr. Christopher Falafaya, come up here and say, this should have been addressed long time. Long time. Grab it, solve the problem, and let's move on. That's why they say a leader change things. Leader take decisive stand. Leader take decision. I don't care if you're going to be tough or you're going to be soft or you're going to affect somebody or somebody going to be affected by it. Leader take those decisions. You think what sometimes when you become president for a whole country, when the law say your child violated this thing and the punishment set aside for a certain crime is execution and your son did this and so thing, what will you do, Mr. President, in that case? Will you bend the law? Will you tell the person, oh, I'm the president, but I don't want to say execute my child? I get the will. You have to be the leader. You got to say, well, If the law requires that if you commit murder, you should be executed, and my son were involved with committing murder, it saddens me that I would be the one to affix my signature to my son's execution. But if the law is the law, I took an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution. So in so doing, I do solemnly swear on this day that my son, so and so person, will be executed, and he will execute you. I know you feel bad. Oh, my papa got that way to go and give me, but they will execute you. That's why you're the president. That's why that very day when you are taking the oath, you lift up your hand. You say, Julia Parker, do solemnly swear that I will uphold, defend the Constitution of Indiana. So help me God. And you put your hand down. Sometimes those little meaning swear we can do, we overlook them. But it's an affirmation to your character. It tells you who you are. Because your words are your bone. If you stand in front of people and take an oath, and in the end, you can live by what you say, it become a problem. Whenever it has to do with constitutional violation, it has to be a serious concern, Mr. President, because that's the pillar of the institution. You can sweep those things under the rug. So I'm hoping that since the bull have stepped in, that Saturday they're going to have all parties involved. I'm hoping that you, Mr. President, shouldn't beat your chest, shouldn't make your chest so high. Let's see what G. Raji say here. He said the president should have arrested this whole thing when he returned from Philadelphia after he received so many calls about this situation. He shouldn't call the SG. He should have called the SG instead of that. You're right. You're right. What my sister say here, looking our princess Tutu Makati. They us to next to Parker because of friendship. Tutu Makati, they want about a fire for fire. What my woman say, yes, sis Isabella Nimba. Woman say, yes, as a leader, you have to take a strong decision to matter, no matter what, because your reputation is on the line. You see that? Everybody here, Mr. Parker, support that. Support that you have to take a real decisive decision. You have to. Well, Samar Princess Liwe Hamo Logan say here. She said, Honor Judah Parker administration, all executives, we are fighting each other. Then what? See who here again? Okay, let me read small comment because I know some people thinking that, oh, you want to read my comment, you want to read my comment. We have this one from my brother John Z. Akwe. He said, I'm watching from Indianapolis. Sister Isabella Nimwa, she said, I'm watching. Paul Jean Japa, he said, I'm watching you, bro. Thank you, Paul. He said, thank you, bro. My own dear big brother here. Oh, not him. Emmanuel Moses, Nawan son, Topa Jr. He said, I'm watching from Banga. My sister, she just love peace. She said, your nephew be making me miss my looking hour. Yeah, that's true, my sister. Brenny Alpha, she say hello. Murray G consistent. He say, keep watching. Aye Buaka, the first family. She said, System 1. System 1. And my sister there, Aye, we first family now because me, yeah, now you are part of president. I related to you, so I'm a first family too. Doswa. He say, the King Doswa is watching. And let's see here, my dear wife, the real intellectual class. Yes, Yan is in the intellectual class. Let's see the financial secretary, Fatih Family. I thought you already started your own organization. Oh, Fatih, we can't do that right now. Sometimes we can only be doing that to put pressure on the administration to do what is right. But we can see the Liberian people have their own association that is so cherished here. They will go have another one. We can be the goal of the association is to bring everybody together. So we can't say we're dividing community to prove what? What will get from there? Nothing. I got a whole foundation run in Liberia that every time I gave clues and giving food items, yeah, those are enough. At least I'm impacting lives, not to have two organizations to be called president. President of what? Yeah. Yep. So all my sisters say here, Bernie Alpha. Okay, so all the government member guru, please come listen. Okay, so who here gonna read another comment here? What my own mother-in-law say here? She said that is so true. And let's go to the Abba Mobile watching us. So all of you who watching us here, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much. We really, really, really appreciate it. What my wife saying here? You carry a we're waiting for you to go to the fairground to see the lights. Oh God. First of all, I'm a I'm a commentator. I'm a father. I am an evangelist. I am Philip. And that's it. Um my wife is Sama Princess Liwe Hamo Logan. And she's annoying, but I love it. I love it. And right now, while you people enjoying your show, she want to take her children out to the fairground to go and see the Christmas lights, the lighting of those places. And I cannot let the children down because after God, the first institution God ever created is the family. So it will be better for my night to end good when my wife and myself speaking than for my wife to be saying on the other side when I say, what are you doing? You say, eh. When I talk something, she say, who are you talking to? I say, I'm talking to you too. It will not be good. So you know what? Already 124. I've been here for an hour now. Oh, to say someone don't be interrupting yet. Somebody to talk to her, yeah. Talk to her, goo. Yeah. Right now, she waiting for me. She and my children, they got ready everything. I told them say, yo, go. She said, no, you gotta be there. You gotta be there. Yeah. Those are memories. The children gotta see those tomorrow and say, yeah, I hope I took her to the play, took her to that play. That American left now, mama. You know, Liberia back in those days, your child all the day say, Papa can't get out of the fairground. They say, but go sleep. And if you didn't eat it already, when we put slap on your body. But yeah, America, you can do it now. American children, you can do that one. So I want to say to all of you who follow us here today, and those of you who joining us for the first time, I want to say, don't forget, today you are on the Logan's Hour. And please, don't forget. And just a quick reminder to all of our people in the Liberian community. If you live in the Liberian community, please don't forget that on December 23rd, our dear big brother will be laid to rest. On December 23rd, our dear big brother will be laid to rest. Reverend Winfrey Weir. You know, the reason why Reverend Winfrey Weir death hit me so hard, it was because I got to know him so late. And I got to know him during the time we were campaigning for this Liberian Association community leadership. And I still remember the day I walked into his home. And you know me, everybody that know me as I'm afraid of dog. I'm afraid of dog. My daughter afraid of dog. When I was even coming up as a boy, even if I'm coming from school or coming from places, I can even be riding bike. I see dog coming my direction. I will park that bike and climb a tree and call somebody say, please help me. Oh. Please help me. So I went to a house and we sat in his living room, here myself and my wife. And he quizzed me and he asked me questions, your vision, your plans, and this and that. What's the plans for the older people? What's the plan for the young people? What's your own personal plan? What do you want to see this organization go? What would you love to see? Who's the next generation? How do you intend to pass the mantle of authority to the younger generation? And we talk. And I walk out of his living room and saying to my wife, you know, I like him. My wife said, yeah, he's very smart. I said, he is. And I love the way he asked those questions. because he really want to know. He have interest in this community. But he been so quiet for some time and he has not come up because people who he thought who had led this community in a direction that he was expecting fail him. And now he's looking for that young revolutionary with a lot of vision that would take this community to a whole new dimension. I told my wife, I said, I like him. I would love to have a conversation with him again. And the second time we met, that's when I invited him to my mom's 70th birthday celebration. And I walked up to him and I asked him to read the scripture readings that were on the program sheet. And he stood up and he read those scripture readings. I think in his memory, I'm tempted to play his voice when he was reading that day in the church. So hold on for me so you can see who I'm talking about. When you're reading, not in the church, but at my mom's um at my mom hold on, birthday celebration. So this man I'm talking about, Mr. Weir, he was not just an ordinary person. He was someone who God truly blessed. He had the skills of, he was a good orator. I won't lie to nobody. I love to see people who knows what they done. And he said to me in our living room, I still remember. He said, Philip? I said, yes, sir. He said, you see me? He said, you see me? I have just one degree, but I self-educate. I educated myself. I came to America. I read a whole lot. Even when I was sitting and talking to my friends, they have to give me attention because I command attention. And I appreciated him so well. I remember that day when I called him up to read the scriptures, and Mr. Weir walked out. And the last time I saw him, it was somewhere else, and that was the end. I never had a chance to see him again. You know, when 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 I'm talking about it, it gets to me because he's someone that I met at a very short time, and I had never had a chance to know him longer than the time I saw him. So, so let me just play that so some of you who don't know what I'm talking about, so you can for yourself see the man I'm talking about, because some of you don't know him and he was never the community type of person that is everywhere. So I just want to play just little piece of what I'm talking about, so you can have the opportunity to see and know for yourself who was Reverend Winford Weir. So those of you who following us, I want to say thank you. I saw a lot of people left, but yet and stay, we appreciate you people and for being here. So let's go through it. So it was at this program at my mom 70th birthday celebration. So let's play the voice of Mr. Weir to his wife. I know when you're following us right now, we don't intend to make you cry, but we just want for people to know what we are talking about. Thank you. The audience, but we will have somebody who will take the lead. So at this time, we will call on Reverend Weir. He will take the lead in the reading of the birthday Bible verses. I will tell you that old people think, so we do it differently. Thank you very much.
Praise the Lord. This is a wonderful time to share some verses that we believe will touch your heart as we celebrate the life of Mom Mary. So I'm going to call out the references, and if you look at the back of the program, those verses are there. So I will call out the references, and then we will together read in unison. Are we ready? Say amen.
Amen.
All right. Proverbs 9:11. Together. For through wisdom your days will be many, and years will be added to your life. Numbers 6:24-26. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. Psalm 24. May the Almighty God grant you your heart desire and fulfill all your plans. And once again, Numbers 6:24-26. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. And the people said, Amen.
There you go. There you go. So some of you now can see how deeply I was touched when I heard about his passing. When I heard about his passing, it hurts me so much. It hurt me so much. I got to know him so late. And he and I talk. I can remember that day in the living room. I said to him, if we are privileged enough to serve this community, we will be counting on you people for guardians and way forward. He said, I'm open anytime. Neither did I know that he was going to be made to go this early at the age of 56, I think. This early. But it is the laws. And we are grateful to God. We tell him thank you for that as well. Because he said in good times and in bad times, tell me thank you. And Lord, at this time, I want to say thank you. Thank you for taking the life of Reverend Weir. Because they say absent from the body, present with the Lord. And we know at this time, the good old Lord, the one we spelled capital Lord, will be gracious to him. His blessing will continue to flow in his home, even in his absence. His wife will not lack. God will open doors. The people who do not know her will tap into her because of the good deeds of her husband. You know, before I get too emotional, I want to say thank you for joining ours today. And we look forward to seeing you people again on Tuesday. Thank you so much. And we'll say bye-bye and good night. Thank you.